brave being on the same bill with Priscilla. One of my dearest friends in the whole world. And I have a show that is running right now that I've directed here in San Diego. It's with an all-adult cast, and I'd like you to welcome now the star of that particular show, here from Shady Grove Retirement Community. Please let's welcome the star of my show that's running right now.
With a day lonely, I just stick up my chin and grin and say, the sun will come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on till tomorrow. Come what may, everybody, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love you, tomorrow. Stop! Just me. Tomorrow, I said just me. It's only
She was my third grade teacher, and I was just absolutely terrified of her. And I happened to run into her in the lobby before the show, and she's here all the way from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And she told me she was very interested still in show business. And I said, well, are you coming to see the show? And she said yes. And I said, well, why don't you be in it instead? And she said, I would love to. So here now, with some words of wisdom, let's welcome Sister Mary Regina.
Here's my first challenge. Get it up. Now then, I was a little delayed. The people out at the bar were being very naughty, so I had to rap a few knuckles. Now, before I begin, I'd like you all to make sure that you take out your gum. You hear me? I tell you, it's not easy. Trying to be a leader in these permissive times is next to impossible. Well, I don't know how I ever became a nun in the first place. The other sisters back at the convent don't know this, but I started out to be a tightrope walker. But I'm not making this up, you know. My mother and father had an act, and they were billed as on a tightrope. We were all a bit on the hefty side. And my father said, if we worked really hard, we could be better than the Flying Wallendas. And everybody in the whole family was in the act, except my sister, Mary Claire. She was taking lessons from a contortionist, and he showed her a new position, and then she got, oh, never mind. That's another story. I was telling you about the act. Well, one day we got booked into London, and we had a wire stretched over the river as a publicity stunt. No net, mind you. And there they were, up there, 2 tons on a tightrope, my mother and father, when all of a sudden the wire broke, and boom, 2 tons in the Thames. Well, right then and there, I promised the Lord that if he would spare them, I would become a nun. Well, how was I supposed to know he was going to pull them through? So I figured as long as the Lord kept his promise, I would keep mine, and so here I am. But you know, show business is still deep down inside my heart, and I gotta tell you something. I see the spotlight, and though it's not right, I simply can't resist its call. For some nuns it's bingo at the parish hall. Give me a spotlight and I have a ball. I lose my head then, I know I'm dead when I start to hear that laughter grow. Please forgive me, but don't you know that this is much more fun than B-I-N-G-O? Say hello, Dolly Long. Oh boy, oh boy. I'm your right, Reverend Mama. There isn't any other. You're right, Reverend Mother. Superior nun. Oh yeah. I gotta share just one more little thing with you. Now, you may think it's a little premature, but back at the convent, we're also excited because we can just smell the smells of holiday in the air. And we've been practicing cooking, especially for our Thanksgiving dinner. And we have a very special book that we follow called Cooking with the BVM, that's the Blessed Virgin Mary. And in there is the most divine recipe for the best Thanksgiving turkey you ever hope to have. Now you get a big bird and you clean it all out and you set the oven for 450 degrees, and now here's the secret. You stuff the bird with 2 pounds of uncooked popping corn, and you know the bird is done when its ass blows off.